Well, good morning, everybody. Travels with Dottie here, and it's Comments and Coffee on the 9th of September, 2024. And it's a balmy 39 degrees outside, and we have Dottie on the bed, sleepy, but not asleep. And it's 72 degrees here inside the trailer. We're in Eagle Nest still. And this is going to be our last Monday in Eagle Nest. Next Monday, we'll be somewhere else. We'll be in transit between here and Pahrump, Nevada. So who knows where we're going to be on Monday. Only time and happenstance will tell. So we are, like I said, in Eagle Nest, New Mexico, which is just 30 miles due south of the Colorado border near Taos. That's where we are. We're on beautiful Eagle Nest Lake at 8,000 feet of elevation. That's why we have the 39 degrees happening. Fall seems to have arrived here, although the leaves have not changed yet, but I expect it any day. Hopefully we'll get some of that beautiful color this week before we leave. And let's get into the comments. So I've been doing quite a few little off the cuff shorts. So there are a lot of those, 2 or 3 yesterday. One was my loyal travel companion. It was about gratitude. Gratitude from M. Campbell keeps one focused on what you do have rather than what you don't. It's a much healthier mindset. And I had one on just George the cat, and Lisa Roth. Hey, Lisa says, hello, George, or hi, George. Let's see, moving it up. We have Judy. Judy and Lisa are right together. That's they're very good friends, and they camp together often, so it makes sense. Their comments would be right next to each other. Judy says on Comments and Coffee, I'm not upset with the raising the price of the LTVA pass, but it's so excessive. Over 300%. I'm only getting 2% income increase in income per year. And I don't see that we get anything more for the money. Maybe raise it incrementally over the next 10 years. Yeah, I don't have much to say about that. I agree. Sam Shepard to Comments and Coffee says, on the positive, there could be more patrols to enforce rules against the crap that is ruining the area for all of us. And the troublemakers are getting more and more present. Funds are spent properly. $600 is still a deal. I responded to that and said, what exactly is going on that you see to be ruining the area? And then King for a Day chimes in and says, very sad, like many of the inconveniences are not recorded due to the actions of just a few folks. And then we get, someone says, I watched 33 minutes and 57 seconds. That's the whole video. So I don't know what that means. But let me just address this. I've been coming to the La Posa South for several years. I regularly go into the other 3 LTVAs, and I have friends staying in those, and I don't see the troublemakers. I'm sorry, and I asked the legitimate question, what's going on? I got no answer because I don't think they do have an answer. There are areas that get trashed in the desert around quartzsite. You can see it, abandoned trailers and things like that. And I've not seen that in the LTVAs. I've only seen that in the free areas. And I've participated in volunteer activities where we go and we clean that up in a big group. And I just, I don't think they're raising these rates because of troublemakers. They're raising these rates because through some kind of incompetence, and I don't know whose, I don't pretend to know whose, but they haven't raised a rate since 2008. You know, we're talking 2025, so that's what set. It's going to be 2025 before they see any benefit of an increase. So what's that? 17 years without an increase. 17 years. Can you imagine if you didn't get any kind of increase in your income at all in 17 years? You would likely be faced with pretty severe financial problems. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is that's the problem. It should have been, if $600 is reasonable, which if you look at it, if I pay $600 to stay my 4 months, it's like $5 a night for dry camping. It's Show me where you can do better with a place that has dump stations and water, and vault toilets. $5 a day, it's good, but it's a shocker to go from this incredibly thrifty 180 to 600. But if you look at it, the new rate is reasonable. What should have happened is there should have been gradual increases from 2008 till today, and we would all be paying, something close to $600, and we would have adjusted to it. But to make a sudden change like this just is, it's very unfortunate. It really is. But I don't see that this is because of irresponsible people. I guess it's natural to want to be mad at somebody, and that might do it. So anyway, let's move on. Egg run and e-bike crash. So I tweaked this thumbnail and title several times, because really the most entertaining part of the whole video was me crashing my e-bike. But I was totally okay. It was just kind of funny. But I didn't want clickbait like stuff where people might think that I was hurt. Let me move this a little so you can see Dottie. There you go. So when I first did the email, I did it in the corner. I said, I'm okay. And still I heard from friends, are you okay? They didn't even watch the video. So I changed the title. Let's see. What did I change the title to? Let's see. I changed it to, I don't know what. Hang on. I changed the title to Egg Run and E-Bike Crash. I am okay, minor fall. So hopefully people knew I was okay. And so Keith Bobbitt, and the egg run was going to buy eggs, because I forgot to buy eggs when I went to the grocery store. He says, did you break your eggs? And I said, you must not have watched until the bitter end. No, not broken, because at the bitter end, I take a picture of the eggs and say, they didn't break. I'm okay. They're okay. I'm okay. Eggs are okay. And then Susan responds to that. Susan Jack, oh no, crash. Glad you're okay. Didn't break any eggs. I didn't get a chance to go into that thrift store when I was there. I really enjoyed thrifting. Susan, if you remember back, was one that came by, and I met her up at the Deborah Dickinson's book signing. The kitchen section is my favorite. I love kitchen gadgets. I'm looking for a handheld cheese grater. Happy thrifting. I like that. I think I mentioned I like the kitchen stuff too. Randy says, glad you're okay. Nice morning, minus the crash. And then the positive news story was called The $40 Doctor, and it was an older story about a doctor that was, I think he had a private practice. He got really frustrated with insurance, and he said, okay, that's it. I'm not taking insurance anymore. I'm going to see people at the time for $35. It's since gone up to $40. But, and he almost lost everything in the pandemic because no one could come into his office. But it's pretty unique. He says he makes 65% of the average a doctor makes, but he's so much happier. You go into his office and there's no receptionist or anything. It's just him. I think now he has a practice with another doctor, so there are two of them. And I imagine they're following the same model where there's no nurses, no receptionists. You come in, sign in on an iPad, and he comes out and gets you. Really great story. He says, one of my best friends, a doctor, left this is Keith, Brookshire. One of my best friends is a doctor, left a big multi-doctor practice 25 years ago, went with this business model. He loved it, and has been successful, or was successful at it for a long time. And I responded to that. I said, that is great. I too left a lucrative business job to do something I enjoyed for far less money. Best career decision I ever made. And I mean that. I mean it. I used to be a business guy. I worked for Dell Computer. You believe that? Also, Neiman Marcus. I was an executive with Neiman Marcus a long time ago. MEEG5FR. one of those generated names on comments. I regret commenting at all previously. I'm currently studying, and I think he regrets commenting. I don't know what he's referring to there, whether it's commenting on a previous LTVA or BLM proposal or commenting on my channel. I don't know. I'm currently studying the 33-page PDF. That's the full proposal for the rate increase. We'll do a lot more research before forming an opinion or taking action during the public comment period. The document is available if you go to the BLM Yuma field office, or the I'm inserting here, go in the description of my video. It's there too. Go to the BLM field office website, scroll down to the blue link. This is going to get insane on YouTube with people posting misinformation and clickbait. Ugh, but I do care, and we should all, so should we all. This is our chance, but please do your homework. So, you know, it's reasonable to assume that there's going to be a lot of clickbait and misinformation. Well, no. And the only misinformation I'm aware of is mine. I don't know if you remember or were watching earlier. When I did my video, I misquoted one of the proposed rates substantially, like by half. And I think 40 people saw it. And one of my viewers said, "Are you sure about this?" And I go, oh my God. I took it down and put up the right stuff. When a mecca for RVers like Quartzsite and the LTVA goes from $180 to $600, and it's a fact, you don't need clickbait. You just put that, and people will click on that because it's big news, and you don't need to be overly dramatic because it is dramatic. So this is a case, and I've watched quite a few YouTubers do videos on this, and I haven't seen any clickbait, and I haven't seen any bad information. So there we go. Nancy says, glad the egg survived. Me too. And McDeb 1991, and she's also commenting on the LTVA increase. As an older young lady, I think the increase may be excessive, but people also should not expect to live for free. If they have money to support the vendors, they should have money to pay rent. I sure noticed a lot of cash flow in Q shopping videos. On the positive side, good morning, Miss Dottie. All right, so I guess you're talking about my shopping videos and my cash flowing in my shopping videos. I don't live for free. I paid the $180 happily, never complained about it, and I'll very likely pay the $600. So, people should not expect to live for free. That's a kind of, this is a little bit of a nasty comment. I'm going to leave it there though, because I'm going to assume she meant well. But, or he, it could be a he. It's a picture of a dog and it says McDeb. I don't know. But you should expect to be on regular BLM land for free, because that's what BLM land is. Unimproved non-campsite BLM areas are 14 days for free. And we do, in fact, pay for that. I don't happen to stay in them, but I could. And I deserve to, just like you do, because I pay taxes. And if I want the enhanced LTVA, yes, I should pay for it. And people do and have been. So I would encourage you, if I'm right about McDeb, if I'm right, I would go in, and if that's not what you meant, you can go in and edit that. And you can change the wording, but it does come across as pretty judgmental and unnecessarily so. And I don't know, maybe you weren't talking about me, my shopping videos, but I kind of think you were. All right, Randy, on This May Change Your Life, I did a video saying, hey, if you're basically, in a nutshell, I said, hey, if you're doing a job you don't like, a career you don't like, you can do something different. I'm living proof. This is what I did. I did it. I pulled the trigger, and many, many years ago, and I've not regretted it. It is one of the best decisions I ever made. So Randy says, the difference with you is you were willing to sacrifice to make your dream come true, and most people won't and are too afraid. And, she's meaning financial sacrifice. I sold a house, I sold stuff, I took a lot less income, and the sacrifice was a lot less than I imagined it to be, and the benefits far greater. King for a day. Sorry to hear you'll be leaving the Eagle Nest area, but it's a good idea to get out before the snow flies. Yeah, you're right. That lake will be completely covered in ice. I can certainly understand how you've fallen in love with that area, enjoyed all your touring videos. When you return next year, consider exploring. I don't know, maybe you already have the rest of the Enchanted Circle, Red River, Cuesta, Taos. You'll find Red River to be much like Eagle Nest, but Tao marches to the beat of an entirely different genre. Anyway, enjoy the winter in quartzsite. Yeah, I've done videos of the Enchanted Circle more than once. A couple of Taos videos, certainly 2 or 3 Red River videos, and I'll continue to do that. Me and my 2 RVs. And the eggs, oh my, be careful out there. I have a bike bell that I ring far enough away to let pedestrians know I'm behind them. I mentioned that I had pretty careful about riding on the sidewalks, and I felt guilty because I came up behind a couple of people and frightened them. And she's saying, hey, if you have a bell, you can avoid that. It happened too fast because I wasn't really paying close enough attention, and I thought I was going at a snail's pace, and I didn't realize it was just a mistake. But it's actually a good point with the bell. You need to have a bell on your bike if you're going to be riding around people, for sure. It's only polite. Pup Camper, Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl. I enjoyed the bike journey as well. I'm glad you did not get hurt or scramble your eggs. That's funny. I have scrambled my eggs before after I bought them. I have a video in quartzsite where I bought this. Eggs were just really like $7 or something. There was a period of time where they were just, egg prices exploded, and I bought one and I dropped in the parking lot and broke every single one of them. And that was in a quartzsite video. Lisa Ross says, I'd be happy to see more bike lanes as electric bicycles become more popular. I often think of them in quartzsite because there are quite a few people using not only bikes but scooters too. Robert Burns on the comments video. My previous comments on rate change was incorrect. The rate is not $100 a month, but $200 a month. That's funny. He made the mistake. He apparently made the same mistake I did. That's the mistake I made. I was saying, hey, it's not that bad. They're, instead of $40 for 2 weeks, it's $100 for a month. If I stay 4 months, it's $400. It's not that bad. And then someone pointed out, Rob, the thing you posted says, the announcement says 200. You're saying 100. I'm like, oh my God. So 4 months would be $800. I am an idiot. And thank God only 40 people saw that video. On the well issue in the dump station, I have a suggestion. BLM could use the design build financing paid by a organization. Hundreds of design build or variations are done on infrastructure all the time. Campers can pay into a fund to complete the well and many more projects. BLM should talk to the transportation department. I'm not familiar with that. You are. Nancy, This May Change Your Life video where I talk about quitting my job and reinventing myself. I only have Nancy Medeiros, I only have 563 more days. Will retire from Frito-Lay. Frito-Lay, oh wow. Then I'm out. I can do it. Yes, you can. And I bet you're in great shape financially with your time at Frito-Lay. And Joseph responded to her. Good for you, Joseph. He said, good luck, wish you the best. We all do, Nancy. And we can't wait to see you out here if that's what you're going to do. No matter what your retirement looks like. If it looks like mine and I'm running into you, great. If it's living on the beach in Florida, that's wonderful too. Naj on comment video. Hi, George. Hi, Dottie. I'd love to see them both. I understand why Dottie takes headline billing because she's more active and not camera shy. George doesn't care if he's in the spotlight or not. No, George does not care. Let's see. Hi. Oh, CD Casita Adventures. That is Charlie and Diane. Hi, Rob. Glad you're okay. Glad to see you didn't have to eat scrambled eggs. By the way, I can install training wheels next year. Wise guy. He's going to put training wheels on me. Robin. So sorry you fell, but glad you didn't get hurt. I didn't want a thumbs up because you fell, but really enjoyed this video. You could still hit a thumbs up on the video. Glad the egg survived. Wonder if your leg is bruised. No, it wasn't bruised. I thought for a minute, hey, am I going to have a sore leg here? Nah, it was good. Nothing. I bounced back like a teenager. Now, well, that's going to jinx me. I take it back. Randy, I love my GP. Oh, general practitioner. That's the only nice thing I can say about medical industrial complex. This doctor gets it, and it sounds like his heart and priorities are in the right place. I'm not a big fan of health insurance. The model of deny, then justify, and but I do understand they're in the business to make money, and they can't just say any doctor can do anything they want, I guess. Medicare, now that I say the words are out of my mouth in a bubble and I see them, Medicare doesn't really question much what doctors order. All right. Those of you that are experts out there, you chime in to correct me. I'm not an expert here. But I have read, and I can't cite my sources right now, that by measures of efficiency, Medicare is more efficient administratively when you compare the percent of cost administratively to the operation, is much more efficient than private insurance companies, which is hard to believe, but that's been something that I believe for a while. And I might, if I have some time, I might relook into that and see what the sources are for that. But my original point was insurance companies need to make money, and they make money by collecting premiums and minimizing the amount of payouts. That's how you make money when you're an insurance company. And I keep that in mind when I deal with insurance companies. And it's the reason I will never go with I'm going to turn 65 next year and I'm going to get Medicare, and I'm not getting an Advantage plan. An Advantage plan is these things that they advertise like crazy. It's free or $1 a month or something, and we give you all these benefits. Well, the Advantage program is the Medicare saying, we will turn over for a fixed fee to these insurance companies. They can manage your Medicare. So Medicare no longer is the administrator and the gatekeeper for your Medicare. The Advantage plan insurance company is, and they can make you go in network. They can approve and decline, and they're motivated by making money. If you pay instead of an Advantage plan, if you are willing to pay more like I am, and you get a Medicare supplement plan, then they pay a much smaller fee to the insurance company to be the administrator of your Medicare, and they have no rights to approve or decline any claims. All they do is process. And so they are not interested in that. All they're interested in is collecting their fee for doing the electronic processing of claims and things of that nature. So they have no vested interest in whether you have a lot of claims or no claims. So that's what I'm doing, because I know, and insurance companies make money by collecting as many premiums as possible and minimizing the payouts. And if you minimize the payouts for my health care, then you put my health care is put at risk. Naj has a couple of comments on the crash video. Love our little bike ride tour. Love to go thrifting with you. The little cabins are cute. She said, yes, tight turns are not your friends. Neither is gravity. True that. And then she comments on the $40 doctor. Yes, he's a great role model. You can tell he loves his profession, has a big heart. More MDs should do this. Few people nowadays get in the profession because they love. Most go into it for the money, and it shows. And it mostly doesn't. By the way, these are my words. It mostly doesn't work. Ken Gray. Hey, Dottie. Hi, George. It's 4 p.m. for me. Today's been rough. Spent most of it in bed because I ate bread for the first time in 7 months. So I'm sure the old digestion system was your enemy yesterday. It's so nice to be able to watch your videos. They make my day. Thanks, Ken. Utah Paul says, quartzsite will lose a lot of clients. RVers will go somewhere else. That very well could be. Yeah. King for Day, this is just my current belief and absolutely don't mean to disparage anyone that lives it. I don't believe I would ever want this lifestyle 24/7, but that could change. What would concern me most would be extended illnesses, something take out your RV or just getting tired of it. Having said that, as a famous YouTube philosopher once said, I do me. That's Rusty. Rusty says that. And I respond, I said, I'm getting a permanent spot at Pahrump Escapees Park for that very reason. I plan on putting a park model there. What I'm referring to is there's going to come a time where I can't do this anymore, and I'll need a permanent home, and that can easily be the Pahrump Escapees. You get a full-time permanent site. I'm going to put probably eventually put a park model on there. And I have access to minor medical there in Pahrump and major medical stuff in an hour away in Las Vegas. So I've covered that concern personally. Something could take out your RV. I agree. Something could take out your house too. Or just getting tired of it. Yeah, that's the beauty of this. If I just get tired of it, I can stop doing it and do something else, right? We can all do that. So I get, King for a Day, your objections, and they're yours, and you do you, I'll do me. But as I educate myself, reading your post and considering your points, I've got them covered. Ken Gray, oh wow, I live in Lake Mary now. I'm grown up a bit since you lived there, but it's still a lovely area. Comments and coffee, I mentioned that I lived in Lake Mary. He lives, and I responded to him and I said, I gave him the address of my old house, 3233 Egrets Landing Drive. I left there in 2001. So, coming up on 14 years ago. What am I talking? It's, that is 19 plus 4, it's 23 years ago. It's easy to get confused when you get old. But that was this is an interesting story. And I'd taken a job with a company called Fiserv, a big computer company. And I moved to the Orlando area, and I went shopping for a house, and I made kind of a bad decision. Yeah, I did. There was a new housing development in Lake Mary, and I went looking at lots. They were building these new houses right and left, and there weren't any existing ones. You had to order the house, so they build it, and I had time though. So I saw this beautiful lot that was it backed up to a farm and a pond, and it was a beautiful view, and it was just perfect. And it was kind of the end of one of the houses on a cul-de-sac, and I could choose which model I wanted, and I was pretty excited. And I noticed there were train tracks pretty close, and I asked the realtor about it. He said, oh, they hardly ever come by. He was mistaken. Not only do the trains come by once an hour, 24 hours a day, you've ever seen those little W signs on the railroad tracks? They're required to blow the whistle, and these little signs are ahead of intersections. And there was a little sign right by my house. The only night's sleep that I got without being woken up by a deafening train whistle, which would shake the house, was 9/11. They shut down the trains for a week, and I slept like a baby for a week, and then they started up again. And so I got used to waking up multiple times a night, every night. It was not good for me. I was very, very frustrated, and I tried everything. I had this acoustic material that I blocked the whole window with. I had all kinds of headsets and things. I threw a lot of money at it trying to overcome it. I had a beautiful little pool in the view, and it was a beautiful house. Everything was wonderful about the house except for that. So from there, I was offered a job with Dell, and so I went to sell the house. And I wrote in the disclosure very clearly that because I was so upset, there was no disclosure about this when I bought the house, and I felt at the very least misled by a salesperson that didn't know any better, or maybe deliberate. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to assume it wasn't intentional, but I wrote it in the disclosure, and I go, I'm never going to sell this house. And I got an asking price offer in 2 weeks. And I sold that house. And the whole thing was, I think I bought it for like 113 or something. And somebody's going to go look and check the records, and you're going to say, you're full of shit, Rob. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that word. I'm so sorry. Full of doo-doo. Because you paid more, but I don't think I did. I think it was like around 120, and I sold it for pretty much what I bought it for, because it was short as like a year and a half or 2 years. But I went and looked it up just to make sure I had the address right when I put it there. It sold like in 2022 for like 400 and something thousand. Wow. My old little house, I could never afford it now. Anyway, a little bit of a sidetrack. Tommy, well, Rob, I'm glad you survived the crash. I'm also glad you didn't crack any up. Guess you could have had scrambled. I've been thinking about Electric's new Fat Tire XP walkthrough because my leg doesn't want to go up and over like the old days. Have you tried one of them? I figured the fat tires would be better in sand. Glad you got through that lock in the attic. At the attic, glad. Oh, you used the lock at the attic. Never know one of these days when somebody thinks your bike is theirs. And I said fat tires are better if you have room and can lift it. I've never tried one of those bikes he's talking about, but they're way better than what I have. For stability and off-road and sand and stuff, but they're big and they're heavy, and the reason I downsized my size is I needed a lighter bike that I could safely lift in and out of my truck, and so that's kind of the way it is for me, not for you, Tommy. You like Rusty says, you do you, I'll do me, but I think I think you do well with that. I hear good things about that Fat Tire X Peak. Robin, it's so beautiful. I wish I was there. That's the short. What do you think of my campsite? On This May Change Your Life. Babski, Bab SK 6024. Great advice, Rob. I hope this message reaches as many people as possible. Lisa, what an amazing doctor. I don't have the right words to explain how this impresses me. Anne-Marie Sikorsky, thank you, Rob, for the comment video. And she also says, George is unimpressed. Oops. Oops would be a great name for a pet. That's funny. I had a dog that when I dropped food in the kitchen, I'd say, oops. And the dog, it wasn't Dottie, it was an earlier dog, Collar, would respond anytime I was in a room and I said the room, oops, he would come around the corner, alert for food. Yeah, oops would be a good name for a dog. But he would be confused around clumsy people. Renee, wow, what an amazing kind of that Dr. Duder reminds me of the old town family doctor. Thanks for these great stories. When I was a kid, our family doctor used to come to the house, not for every appointment, but if you were really sick for a long time at home, he'd come and check on you at the house. Blaze Rebel, maybe? I love the ride. I'm glad you and the egg survived. Me too. Judy says on my campsite, I did one, says hashtag RV campsite dog, no sound. It was just me sitting outside with Dottie, and I was wearing a coat. It was like 6 o'clock and it was cold, so I'm kind of bundled up and I'm wearing a cap. And she says, I can't wait to need a coat. And Randy says, me either. Let's see. Randy says, hi, Dottie, that same video, short. Lisa Richards says, we can only hope this catches on. Wow, incredible. And hi, Miss Dottie from Lisa Roth. And Debbie Nichols, don't know that I'm living proof, but I got out of the corporate world before I originally planned. No regrets, at peace after 10 tumultuous years. Thank you for the encouragement. Yeah, the business life, corporate life, a lot of people thrive in it, love it, happy. A lot of people in it. It reminds me of that Office Space, that movie about this guy that just hated his job and felt trapped in it. I didn't quite feel like that, but I felt trapped and I wasn't happy. Barb, I'm glad you're okay. I'm okay, Barb. Dottie is on her favorite couch, enjoying the beautiful mountains. That's Naj. And her favorite couch is this guy's lap, is what she's talking about. Destiny, Cisco, great advice. This may change your life, short. Jesse Head, that was fun. So this is an older video. Want a full-time RV, 10 things to consider first. So Jesse says, that was fun. I got such a kick out of you calmly explaining so much of the sometimes scary challenges of nomad life and the getting completely wild-eyed when talking about romantic relationships. Because it was the topic I knew the least about. Let's see. Anne-Marie Sikorsky, hi you two YouTubers. That's on a short. Same short. Robin is saying, Dottie is saying, this is the life, Dad. Thanks for bringing me along. Robert Ballard on the crash video. We're holding our breath in this video. It's hard to bounce back up like a teenager. But I did. I bounced back like a teenager. If I ever do get one of those bikes, I'll be dressed like the kid from the Christmas Story to keep hurting myself when I do a header. That was Judy. And that is a Judy comment for sure. And I could see Judy all bundled up. Arms, not able to put her arms down. Oh, I love that movie. Pool Chuck, it's someone who has had many crashes on a bike. I'm grateful you're okay. I've had more than one myself. And Destiny Cisco, heart, smiley face to comments and coffee. Let's reload here to see if there's any new ones since we started. There are no new ones. So we're done at 38 minutes and change, almost 39 minutes. And Dottie, boy, it took some activity to get her to look up today. Do you want to go outside and then have your breakfast? Yeah? Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow.